Never has a role so influenced and dominated an actor's role as the role of Bela Lugosi as Dracula. This afternoon, we are honored to have the son of this legendary actor, Bela Lugosi Jr., as our guest to talk about his dad's life, career, and the mark his dad left in Hollywood cinema playing the iconic role of Dracula. We're honored to have him on the show this afternoon, folks. Son of legendary actor Bela Lugosi, Mr. Bela Lugosi Jr. Mr. Lugosi, thank you so much for taking the time today. I want to start off, Mr. Lugosi, in your dad's early life as an actor and in Hungary. Not too many people know that he was an actor in Hungary and appeared in Macbeth, Hamlet, and King's Lear. What led your dad to become an actor?
Well, I don't know what led him to it, but from a very early age, that's what he wanted to do. And in fact, left home as a young person, found work in mines and as engineers, and finally got to play, a part in a play there in his birthplace. And I think he's about 18 years. He joined a repertory company, and from then on, it was strictly acting. That was his life.
And when did he decide to move to the States?
He got here, well, he went from Hungary to Germany and the film industry there and silence, and came to aboard a ship into New Orleans in the early 1920s. And he went from New Orleans to New York, eventually went to Ellis Island and became a naturalized citizen.
And before his success in the 1931 Todd Browning film, your dad had already portrayed Dracula on Broadway.
Yes, he had, starting in 1927.
Wow. Did he ever talk to you how he got cast in the original role of Dracula?
No, he didn't. But I saw among his papers a letter from an agent. To an agent, thanking him for helping him get considered for the role.
Because, correct me if I'm wrong, Lon Chaney was originally chosen for the title role, but he passed away.
Correct.
Your dad really campaigned very hard for the role of Dracula, and that's how he won the role.
That's what I heard.
Your dad made film history when portraying the title role in Universal's groundbreaking Dracula 1931. He'll always be remembered for Dracula. Did your dad have any regrets about being typecast as Dracula?
Well, he expressed ambivalence about that. Yes, it provided him with a career, but no, it didn't give him the latitude to play all the varied roles he wanted to play. I mean,
the role of the leading man, always getting the woman at the end. Did that bother him?
Well, he would like to have played those roles.
I think we all would.
but in a way, Dracula was that kind of a movie.
Yes, correct. It's a classic, iconic film, and it still plays today on the cinemas, and sometimes it plays on Turner Classic Movies. And this is a big deal for me, so I really appreciate you coming on. And this is a big joy for me. Universal. Go ahead.
He was already age 49 when he made that movie.
Wow.
And people don't realize that he was. Had a wealth of experience behind him by that time.
Right, because he had from his roles in Hungary.
Yes.
Universal Monsters, Mr. Lugosi, with Bela Lugosi, of course, Boris Karloff, Lon Chaney Jr., became both a trademark and a landmark in the early sound cinematic landscapes of the 1930s. Your dad was a big stamp collector. What would he think if he knew that he was on a stamp as one of Universal's monsters?
Boy, wouldn't he have been amazed? Well, it's an honor that it happened, but he deserved it.
Right. I mean, he gave so much to cinema, and he's an iconic role, and again, what would he think about the? I mean, he's still as popular, his character Dracula, as he was when he was alive. I mean, what would he think about? It's still going strong.
I actually think he's more popular and known now than he was while he was alive.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, I agree with you 1,000%.
Yeah, he wouldn't have believed it if I told him that was going to happen.
Wow. Amazing, fascinating. Mr. Lugosi, when your dad was cast by Universal to appear in the screen version of Dracula, the film marked the beginning of Universal's horror movie success and brought your dad so much attention. Did your dad enjoy fame? Yes, he did. It gave him a lifestyle, and it's nice to be recognized everywhere you go. So he really enjoyed playing the part as well. Oh yeah, he could turn it on and off at will. Now, when you were a child, your friends, were they scared of your dad? Yes, they hide behind the seats in the theater. And of course, it was just Dad on the screen. I wasn't frightened at all. Right. You used to visit some of your dad's sets. How was that being a young child around your dad on the film? Well, looking back, that was an amazing experience. I remember it today. It's very vivid memories because it was so unusual. It was a dark set. Just. The horror flavor that made it also a jury place. And the studio hired some comics to circulate around the set, make jokes, and make people laugh. And then everybody, crew and cast, showed a lot of respect for Dad. He always did things in one take. Oh wow. Yeah, and I remember going to the commissary court with Glenn Strange and Lon Chaney Jr. in full makeup. Quite an experience. Well, yeah, I can imagine as a child. I mean, were you frightened by Frankenstein and the Wolfman? No, I wasn't. I want just to show my audience how your dad how big his fame was. Your dad got more fan mail than Clark Gable. Is that true? I heard that, and I certainly believe I get fan mail to this date. Oh, wow. We answer all the fan mail. Wow. You guys, you answer all your dad's fan mail? That's fantastic. You must get it all. You must get it all over the world. Yep, I do. Oh, wow. It's amazing. Amazing. Like I said, the popularity today is just as big, if not bigger, than when your dad was alive. I think it's bigger. Right. That's one of our purposes of the family, is to extend Dad's legacy. And we do that through a company called Lugosi Enterprises. And we do licensing of his name and likeness for products and advertising. And it all keeps his legacy in the forefront. Right. It's licensing, of course. Mr. Lugosi, interesting fact: your dad only played Count Dracula in 2 films: Dracula in 1931 and Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein in 1948. Yeah, I was on the set for that one. Oh wow, how was that? Well, that's the one I was talking about before. Oh, okay. Oh, right. With it, right. All the Universal monsters were in that. How was Abner Costello? They didn't have much to do with me. They could have made you an extra. I don't think they like kids. There must have been an amazing experience with all those guys in full costume. Your dad appeared with Lon Chaney Jr. in 5 films: The Wolfman in 1941, The Ghost of Frankenstein in 1942, Frankenstein Meets Wolfman in 1943, Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein in 1948, and The Black Sheep in 1956. The Black Sleep. Sorry, The Black Sleep. Very good. Did your dad have a favorite film with Lon Chaney Jr.? Well, he loved the character of Igor. Mm.
And isn't that in The Ghost of Frankenstein?
Right. Go ahead.
He made that part his own.
Mm.
It didn't have much in the way of a script, but once your dad started defining the character, he got more and more screen time.
Hmm.
And it really ended up, I think, being the star of the Igor movies that he was in.
Oh. Did your dad actually play the monster?
Yes.
That's right. Wow. What was his thoughts on that? Did he ever tell you that?
No, I didn't discuss. See, there's a 56-year age difference between me and my father.
Oh, wow.
So we didn't talk about business.
Yeah, we talked about Lionel train sets.
That's true. We had one.
Oh, you did? Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Do you still have it?
Got it?
You still got it?
Still have it.
Oh, my
Still
God.
have it.
Excellent. Good for you. Oh, that must be worth a few bucks.
Probably.
Mr. Lugosi, White Zombie, 1932 was a personal favorite of your dad.
That's right.
A film which he stepped in and did some directing. Did he ever want to get more involved in his directing as a career?
Well, he did. He enjoyed it, although first and foremost he enjoyed being an actor. But just because of his, leadership qualities, he would, in effect, perform some of those functions.
Mm.
He'd be helping other actors in the film.
Giving direction?
Yeah. But I don't think he was ever credited with a director role.
Interesting. Mr. Lugosi, there's a big misconception that your dad and Boris Karloff were bitter enemies. Can you talk about their relationship a little bit if you can?
Well, I never heard him say anything negative about Boris Karloff, and I've talked to Sarah Karloff about this as well.
Right. Sarah.
She said, as far as she knows, there's a professional relationship. There are competitors, but still no nastiness.
Interesting, because maybe they want to sell theater tickets. Who knows? Maybe they want to sell some tickets, so they made a big hoopla about it.
I thought it was funnier when they got along together.
Yeah, they didn't want that, right? That was too good for that was bad for business.
Yeah.
Some children of stars like Alan Ladd Jr. try to escape the film world after seeing the life through their parents' eyes. Did your dad ever tell you to never become an actor or don't get into the business?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, he did.
He said that actors and entertainers were at the mercy of agents, producers, and studios, and he wanted me to have a profession where I could be in charge of my success. And that's the way he steered me.
Now you're an attorney.
Yes.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Go ahead. Did you have something to do with the Three Stooges?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I did. I was trial counsel in a case involving the ownership of the rights to the Three Stooges.
Wow.
And we won that lawsuit, and then I went into the company and helped do the licensing work for the Stooges property.
Wow. So did you ever meet any of the Three Stooges?
The only one alive
at
when
the
I
time?
first started the case was Curly Joe DeRita.
Curly Joe DeRita, yes.
Right. And then he died, and all the other ones were already dead before I became involved with him.
Joe DeRita didn't like it. He didn't like to get the pies thrown in his face.
That's what I heard.
That's what I heard. He didn't like to get poked in the eye. He was like a diva. He was a Three Stooges diva.
That's right.
That's what I heard, anyways. Other than Dracula, was there any other role that your dad was particularly proud of?
Well, White Zombie for sure.
Great film.
When he played Igor for sure, and then I think the Black Hat.
Yes.
Very surrealistic movie. I like that. And you know what? He was the good guy. And talk about gets the girl. He was the good guy in that movie.
Oh, Actually, so you got the girl. You finally got the girl.
Karloff was the bad guy.
That must have made him very happy.
Yeah, he skinned him alive.
Your father encouraged you not to become an actor. He didn't like the lack of control he said he had. Did he ever regret becoming an actor? If he could have done any other job, what could it have been?
No, he never regretted it.
Really?
It would have surprised me if he had ever thought that.
Is your dad, is he resting in the States or back in Hungary?
No, he was, he came from Europe to New Orleans, to New York, to Los Angeles. Once he got here, he was an Angelino all the way up until the time he died.
Oh, wow. I'm sure he must get a lot of visitors at his resting place.
Yeah. The cemetery says there's always a steady stream of people who come through there.
Which cemetery is he at, if I can ask?
Holy Cross in Culver City, California.
Oh, interesting. Holy Cross. Your dad, Mr. Lugosi, was truly a professional by all accounts. He was a pillar of the Los Angeles Hungarian community. Did he ever mix his social life with his work life?
No, not at all, unless one of the artisans or musicians that he would otherwise socialize with also happened to be Hungarian. But basically his people that were in his community were not actors. They were other artisans and other media.
So he never mixed his work life with his social life.
No.
Who was the comedian that he had at all his parties that would play? Vince Barnett. Talk about Vince Barnett if you can.
I didn't know him, but my mom told me that he came at least once to the house when Dad was having a party, and he would circulate among the guests, doing cut-ups and jokes and fake.
He used to spill drinks and drop plates on hors d'oeuvres all over people.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, your dad's popularity is still big today. Is there anything that you like to say about your dad that people don't know?
Oh gosh. Well, he was a man of many facets. You mentioned he was a stamp collector. He's a hiker. I have his hunting guns. He was an actor. He was a union organizer. I can't even think of it. I mean, he was a very well-read, interesting person. Far beyond just being Dracula.
He was a very supernatural. He said he liked to quit the supernatural roles and just play a down to earth, interesting person. What do you think he meant by that?
Well, he told me his favorite actor was Marlon Brando.
Oh wow! Well, we got good taste.
And I think that's the kind of roles he was referring to.
Oh yeah, on the waterfront. Yeah, that would have been something, huh?
Yeah, for sure.
Dracula made millions of dollars for studios and merchandising, and it's still, like I said, it's still making it today. But what would your dad think about if he had a percentage of it?
I would think that he would want to have control over the commercial use of his name and likeness. He'd be in favor of that. And in fact, at one point, he'd actually had some figurines made of himself as Dracula, and was intending to market those, but I don't know whatever happened to that idea.
Are you involved in the merchandising of your dad?
Oh yes.
Oh, good for you. Excellent.
Yeah, me and my daughter, Lynn.
Lynn's great.
Clark.
She's great.
Yeah, you talked to her, didn't you?
Yeah, I talked to her a few times. Yeah, she's terrific. Give her my best. Your dad said, on the role of playing Dracula, he said it's a living, but it's also a curse.
Yep, he said Dracula never dies. He doesn't know whether it's a benefit or a curse, but it never dies.
Yeah, like I said, it's. I mean, I can only dream of being on the set of Abner Costello. That must have been fantastic to see all the Universal monsters in full makeup.
Yeah, I'd love to go back.
Oh, it would be great. Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be fantastic? Were your friends ever afraid of him when they came over the house?
Well, I don't know. They may have been. I don't know.
I mean, how was it in school? They said, you know, Bela, your dad's Dracula. I mean,
yeah, well, you know, when you're that age, school age, you like to blend into the lockers. And the name gave me a lot of attention that at that time I really didn't want. Since then, you know, I'm very proud of the name.
Of course. You know, was there a role in Hollywood that your dad would have loved to played?
Boy, that's a good question. He liked a big variety of roles, so almost any kind he would like. I know he did mention he wanted to do comedy, and he wanted to.
Did he ever want to get into television?
Romantic. You know, he made some appearances. That was just at the beginning years of television industry, and he did some skits, both audio on the radio and also on television. Not as much as Boris Karloff did.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, whole career.
You don't have to answer this question if you don't want. Is he buried with the original Dracula's cape?
He had more than one cape.
Okay.
He is buried in one of them.
Interesting fact. What else could we ask? What would your dad think about the money that they make today, actors?
Well, you know, he made peanuts.
Yeah, right. They make peanuts.
Yeah. Well, he was for actors. He was for actors' rights. He's one of the founding members of the Screen Actors Guild.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
And so he's number 28, I think, 18 or 28.
Oh wow.
And I've got a bunch of letters that he's written to other actors, encouraging them to join.
What do you think the biggest misconception of your dad is?
Oh, that he's one trick pony.
Right.
All he was Dracula.
Right. I mean, he'd done so much stuff on the stage in Hungary. You know, he had a very broad range as an actor that unfortunately we only saw him mostly as Dracula.
Yeah. Many movies.
Yeah. Let's see. He never discussed with you how he ever got the role as Dracula.
Say it again. He faded out.
I'm sorry. He never discussed with you how he got the role as Dracula. Was it an audition process? I mean, I know Lon Chaney passed away.
Yeah, I don't remember.
What else? What was your dad's thoughts on the business side of Hollywood?
What was his thoughts?
Yeah, you know, dealing with the management and direct agents. What was his thoughts on the business side?
Well, I don't know. I have my own opinions about that. But I don't know.
This is a family show.
Right.
Who was your dad's favorite director, which he loved to work with?
You know, I don't know. You're getting into, don't forget, I wasn't around during all those years.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't alive.
Was your dad a sports fan?
Well, he was a sponsor of the Hungarian Soccer League.
Oh, wow.
Here in Los Angeles. And so he did like that. And yeah.
Amazing. Interesting fact about your dad. Your dad served in the Hungarian army during World War I as an infantry captain.
That's right.
Wow.
Yeah, he was on the ski patrol on the Russian front.
Wow.
He was wounded a couple times.
Yeah, a couple times, and he was discharged, I believe. All right, Mr. Lugosi, thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate this, and God bless you, and my best to your daughter, Lynn.
Well, thank you, and thanks for the nice comments. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. God bless you. Thank you. Bye-bye. Have a great night.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.